Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ray, good to see you again. We've known each other for quite some time. I want to applaud and commend the President's decision to put you in this position. I can't think of a stronger mind, business leader, and someone with just dogged determination to get things done. And I think you bring a fresh enthusiasm to what was becoming not such a fresh face for us, and it's what we need right now. And we need it from a foreign policy standpoint. It's really the soft power piece that complements what our military does around the world. So again, I want to thank you. I want to say personally, anything we can do to assist your mission, we're strongly supportive of you. My question has to do with, I get two, but the first one, China. They are a superpower now. It's hard to compete. As you know, they're in Africa, they're in South America. Their model, they have $12.6 billion in loans now. It's also hard to compete with a country that doesn't have any corruption practices, laws on them, so they can walk in a room and hand basically a suitcase full of cash. Our guys, we obviously can't do that. We're prohibited by federal law. They also offer to build soccer stadiums to get their contracts, to get access into these countries. So I guess my first question is, how do you compete with someone when you're on sort of an unlevel playing field from the get-go? And they have made great advances and strides in both of these continents.
Thank you for your comments, first of all. I appreciate those. You know, the Chinese, we're not going to match them dollar for dollar. And your point of soft power is exactly what OPIC is. It's a soft power agency of foreign policy for the United States. And so there are certain areas we can go in. If the Chinese are at Port-au-Prince, which I mentioned earlier, they're rebuilding the port there, which gives them control. Then as a counteract, we need to find other ports. We should have been the ones in there doing that, and we kind of fell asleep at the switch. I don't know why we weren't there. And so it's more of a strategic play for us because our dollars are very limited, because I am not an aid agency. We are a business agency, and I have to underwrite projects that businesses believe will make a profit and come back because they have so much equity in them. So building a soccer stadium obviously serves no purpose. Building a port that's like in Sri Lanka that made no sense to begin with, well, we can't find a developer to do that, and we're not an aid agency. So we're very strategic on where we go and what we're investing in.
Well, I think Djibouti's another example
Exactly.
where we actually have a military post there, and they're there as well. I think one argument that always plays against them, though, are these countries that they move into. It doesn't benefit the host country at the end of the day. They may have shiny objects they can wave in front of them, but they really don't invest in the well-being of the country's health overall. In fact, they bring in their own workers, you know, many times, and it brings no real, I think, assets to the host country itself. And so hopefully over time, countries in Africa and South America will see that, and they'll turn away from that competition. Secondly, I think maybe Mr. Yoho may have asked you this question, but I co-sponsored his BUILD Act, which creates a U.S. International Development Finance Corporation, and it really helps leverage all the loans that you have with OPIC and USAID's Development Credit Authority. Are you supportive of this? I know it was in the President's budget as well.
I am supportive, and Administrator Mark Green supportive of it. The White House, we gave them a letter last night. They're in support. In fact, USAID and I met, and so yes, I am supportive of it.
And just to close, I mean, I think again, your enthusiasm is welcome here. You're going to do a great job, and OPIC has a great story to tell because most of it can bring billions of dollars of investment, yet with not a whole lot of appropriations from Congress, and so a lot of it's primarily self-funded, and I think we should be taking greater advantage of OPEC's reach and authorities throughout the globe to advance, the United States' interest abroad. When we have such a complex world right now with Russia and China being expansive, and with Iran and North Korea and so many hot spots, I really applaud your leadership, sir, and I look forward to working with you. With that, I yield back.